Well, good afternoon, everybody. Let's see here. It's 1 p.m. over here, and welcome back to my channel. I'm the One Bun, aka Asher the Kingdom Hall Crasher, or, you know, that butthead. Oops. Stupid stream. Sorry, it was going in another window. Anyway, alrighty. So we have with us today Black Sheep, and of course, the Professor. So what's up?
Chilling, kicking it with the homies.
Kicking it with the homies.
Man.
Nice. So today we were going to talk a little bit about how lately, I don't know if any of y'all have heard in the news, there have been some bombings, right, Professor? Here in Texas?
In the greater Austin area, and pretty close to you in Shirts.
Oh, yeah.
They had the FedEx incident.
That's true, yeah.
And considering we've already had a school shooting in Texas this year, this is a little more disturbing.
Oh, wow, whoa. We got an update on that story just now, by the way. 3 minutes ago, as of 3 minutes ago, they have identified the Austin bomber.
Yes, his name is Mark Anthony Condit.
Yep. Crazy.
Pflugerville.
Oh, what a great place to come out of.
Mm-hmm. Mark Anthony, that's an interesting name to have. It
you mean like
that?
Like that dude from that was with Cleopatra, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Right. That's pretty cool. Do you want to explain the significance of why that's kind of neat?
We know in some fake news, sometimes they come up with things that are just a little beyond belief. But that was a suicidal tragedy, the whole Mark Anthony and Cleopatra situation. And this is a suicidal situation. But, I mean, that's just coincidental stuff. Looking at the story here, I mean, this has been going on for 3 weeks and escalating. One of the interesting things to really take away from this, though, and it was on Fox News this morning, I'm sure it was on CNN as well, they were explaining the methods in which they were able to find him. When he went to the FedEx location, it appears that he had a cell phone on him with a GPS device, and they were able to later look at the time that he was there and find all the phone numbers that were at that location. And then later they went to one of the places he's already bombed to find what other numbers had crossed that location. So they kind of showed their hand about how they can triangulate people. Quite interesting how they were able to pull that off. And considering everything going on in Washington right now about FISA court abuses, this is kind of interesting that they would show something like this.
Yeah.
Publicly, considering, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That reminds me, I don't know if y'all, I know maybe Black Sheep did, but I don't think Professor did, caught my stream last night. I was talking about crime and activism and how they don't mix. The reason I decided to speak up about that is because of some recent events over in Washington, in Olympia. There was an incident. Do you want to speak about it, Black Sheep?
I know nothing.
Oh, okay.
I did not catch your stream. I'm just go on.
Okay, yeah, no worries. I got you. So yeah, basically somebody attempted to blow up or set on fire a Kingdom Hall. I'm going to read you a little bit of what I got from the article here. Actually, did you want me to just go ahead and share that with this?
Sure, I haven't heard this story.
Sure.
Yeah, man.
Let's do this. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and share that. I can just... Why can't I? Oh, I forgot how to run this because, you know, I haven't been doing stuff in a while. I suck. All right. Professor's like, just pushed a button, you idiot.
No, I'm not like that at all. I'm chilling.
Yeah, Professor's chill as fuck, right? Okay, so I'm going to have to, like, unheadphone myself for a second so that you guys can hear the little thing here. Hopefully I don't get, there we go, too much.
You shouldn't, did it?
In Thurston County. Cover 7's Petronia Police One is live force in Tumwater and Petronia. Not one, but 2 churches have been targeted. Michelle, they both happened yesterday morning, one in Olympia and one in Tumwater. We're here in front of the Hall of Jehovah's Witnesses here in Tumwater, where they still have crime tape around the front of this building, but it's at the side of that building there where you can see it has been boarded up. That's where the fire was set, and the suspect is still at large this morning. Now, police believe the man you see here on this surveillance video is responsible for setting this fire, both here in Tumwater and also the one in Olympia. The suspect was seen there walking up to the church in Olympia, pouring gasoline, then light it on fire. Now, in Tumwater, church members first spotted the fire yesterday morning. They tried to put it out with a garden hose before help arrived, but the damage inside and outside was done.
So the gasoline was able to go ahead and come in here and pool. And with the oxygen coming in and it being ignited, the oxygen from the outside fed the fuel, which made it worse.
What I think of this arsonist, you can't put on TVs.
But detectives do hope that once people see the surveillance video on TV or online this morning, someone will recognize that suspect. They believe the person may have also suffered burns from starting at least one of those fires. And here at the scene here, you can still see some bits of the fires, remnants from the incident here at Tumwater. There were no security cameras here, but there was the one in Olympia, and that's where authorities are sharing that video this morning. We're sharing it with you. The local agents are involved as well as federal because churches were targeted in this incident. But now reporting live in Tumwater for Trying to Police One, Cairo 7 News.
All right. Oh gosh. Just trying to continue playing. What you doing there, boy? All right. Sorry, hang on. Let me just... Whoa. Okay. There we go. Now we back. All right, so... Wow. What do you think, Black Sheep? You clapped your hands?
Actually, for different reason. But... and I'll post that in the group chat. You'll see. But
okay, cool. That's cool.
To me, that dude looked like he was in a suit.
Really, like Jehovah's Witness?
That, in my opinion, that might have been a witness.
No way.
A disgruntled one, obviously, but then again. I don't know, but that is my personal opinion. That was my first thought.
Wow. Well, I mean, you know, that's what I mean, if it could have been, it would make sense. Like, why? Who else wants to blow up a Kingdom Hall? Because, like, do Jehovah's Witnesses, excuse me for the hair, do Jehovah's Witnesses get mad at Jehovah's Witnesses, or do random people get mad at Jehovah's Witnesses that much that they want to go light their hall up, right?
And this is why do not do anything criminal.
Exactly.
Period.
Don't commit any crimes. It's not worth it, and it's wrong. It is freaking wrong, dude. Look, if it's wrong for witnesses, to hurt, you know, us and to hurt others, then why is it okay for us to hurt others? It's not.
Who said it was one of us?
I'm just saying, in case it was, don't do that. Sorry, I don't mean to swear, but that's like a serious thing, man. Don't do that.
We have no idea. I don't recognize the name. I've been scrolling through YouTube trying to find new people with new activism videos and stories and this, that, and the other. That name that you said, Asher, I have not come across. So I don't know.
Somebody in the chat suggested false flag Kingdom Hall burning, maybe? What do you guys think?
Perhaps. Yeah, I mean, that's one angle, too, about perhaps the society did it to themselves to blame it on us. Another venue for that. Well, no, one of the ways they could get away with it, because, you know, they want to protect themselves as they did it, is perhaps take out an insurance policy on it so that, you know, they don't lose anything. And it looks like they were trying to professionally handle their assets, and realistically it was like they're saying a false flag, perhaps.
Yeah.
Well,
Thoughts, Black Sheep? You look very pensive over there.
It's concerning
Well,
to me.
well, yeah,
Well,
yeah,
man, what
absolutely.
are you gonna? Why do that?
Right.
In the
Don't
first,
don't
how do you
don't do that.
so disgruntled that you feel the need to burn down a kingdom hall with no other recourse?
Right.
Why? Always why?
Right. I mean, that does not solve your problem. If you're an ex-Jehovah's Witness who's doing this, like, that doesn't solve what was done to you at all. In fact, that doesn't stop what's happening to other people, even after you. That's not going to stop it. Burning one
Yep.
kingdom hall is not going to stop it. And I'm not saying burn a shitload. I'm saying, like, don't burn kingdom halls. What you need to do is stop the problem from the inside of the organization. Let us get rid of the organization. That's all we got to do. The kingdom hall is just a building.
Yeah.
And the people inside are just people. So we shouldn't be hurting the building or the people. We need to go and hurt the organization. That's why we got to go and hit the memorial, right, guys?
I'm down with that.
Yeah.
Always have been.
Right, Professor. Yep. Hit the memorial. Go and protest. Go protest the memorial. If you're going to stand outside and picket, picket. If you're going to go inside and say something, say something. Do it from the heart. Keep it legal. Just do something. Right?
Always keep it legal.
Definitely keep it legal. There's no reason, there's no need to do anything illegal. There's also no need, by the way, to do something that's like elaborately expensive. Activism is free, right, guys?
It should be.
Well, it can be, right? Can't it?
It can be.
It absolutely can be. There's no you don't have to. It doesn't have to be cost prohibitive for you. It can be something that you can just do at home. Use what you have at your disposal. Use your resources. Get out there. Do something. Say something. Be heard. Let's make this happen. Let's make these guys struggle for their last breath. And I don't mean like literally. I mean figuratively. Let's make the organization suffocate.
And the way to do that most effectively is bleed them dry of money.
Well, this is correct. But how do you take money from them? See, the thing about going into halls, even if you could convince one person to leave, how much donation money is that they've lost?
Yeah, I know.
And on and on and on. There's a bunch of different ways. Burning down a hall actually makes them money. You think they didn't have insurance on that?
Yeah.
You think they don't have the best of insurances on all their real estate properties? That's
glad.
all they are.
They're probably glad, honestly, because now they don't have to sell the hall.
Probably so. They're going to take the insurance money, and that congregation will relocate. You heard it here first, folks.
Gary Kunkel in the chat. It's a perception problem. All the churches are getting attacked, but not quote unquote us. False flag is possible. The persecution complex must continue. So, yeah, you got a good point.
I wouldn't be surprised. They're getting kind of desperate. I mean, they're running out of not only money, but also lies that they can tell. I mean, how many times can you say the end is coming and get away with that shit?
Right.
Especially now in the information age. I mean, they do make sure that they can basically erase all their history now by keeping everything electronic, but still, people are going to find things out. There's still screenshots. There's still the Wayback Machine. You know what I'm talking about? The website that tells you all.
Oh, yeah, man.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not to mention all the bound volumes that people like me and Black Sheep still have. They can't get rid of that.
Man.
Right. Woo! So they're not going to be able to hide their crap forever, and eventually that will be their downfall. If they're going to be cocky like that and just
Here's another theory to maybe absorb on.
Sure.
I do believe that the organization is intentionally downsizing itself
because they know
they know the inevitable is coming, and through their doctrines, when they make a major change, they know some people. It's another way of shaking off the non-compliant ones. The ones who want to speak up and question too much. Changing a major doctrine goes ahead and finishes them off and gets them out. And people will be like, well, I thought they wanted more money. This is a money game. If they lose people, they lose money. Well, it's not just a money game to them. There's more to it than that. but also they would want to downsize somewhat because when this really does go under quickly, like it will, there's probably going to be a lot of disgruntled Jehovah's Witnesses going postal, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, man.
Going postal.
And that, yeah, I know that's terrible. Too soon? My bad.
No, I'm just sad because, like, I hope I'm super scared of that, like, being a thing. I don't want that to be a thing. I don't want violence committed. I do not want violence committed against Jehovah's Witnesses. I don't.
How many murder suicides of entire families have we heard? How many times have we heard stories of Jehovah's Witnesses flipping out, going berserk, murdering people? How many stories have we covered now?
Too many.
Too many.
One is too many, man.
Well, you know, I mean, is it so ludicrous to ask, was this new Austin bomber a Jehovah's Witness? I mean, randomly leaving something at someone's door sounds right up their alley. Was this someone who slammed a door in their face? Were they just grumbled about that? They're just trying to help save them to Armageddon because they'll never learn the truth. But if I kill them now, perhaps they'll have a chance.
Maybe it's an individual who was so abused and so thwarted by the whole, or not thwarted, who was so jolted by the whole community of Jehovah's Witnesses that they just couldn't take it anymore, and they just felt like the Kingdom Hall was like the only thing they could physically burn and not feel bad for burning, like, because it would be too bad to like actually hurt a person, and they don't really feel angry at the person, they feel angry at the organization. That's what the burning of the Kingdom Hall tells me. They are angry at the organization, the org, not the people necessarily, but the organization. And they're right, that's who you should be angry at. Like, it's not necessarily the individual people.
Crime, man.
But yes, do not commit crime. That's not the way, man. That's not the way. You got to do this legally. You got to fight them clean. Be better than they are, because we are better than they are, right, guys? Well, for the most part.
You would think.
For the most part.
You would think.
For the most part. Well, I got to say, I don't clean a house as well as a Jehovah's Witness does. I'm just kidding.
Clean them toilets.
Clean them toilets. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, my whole family cleans houses, by the way, so don't I don't judge anybody that cleans houses. Shit, I've cleaned houses in my day. I've done it. We all done it. But yeah, so guys, what do you think about this? You don't think this is going to become a thing, right?
Just to reiterate,
I think there will be other things, because just like how the media will constantly line things out for you and keep you distracted with the next thing. I mean, we've heard about enough school shootings, but, you know, they're spread out, you know. By the time you're starting to forget the details of the last one, there's a brand new one with brand new details to focus on. So, I mean, we haven't had a Kaczynski issue in over a decade, so I guess it was time to pull out one of the old tricks. And, I mean, what is this going to solve? I mean, what about the Kingdom Hall thing burning? I really do believe Watchtower being emboldened by things going on in the secular world to know that they can get away with more and more ludicrous things. And they have a scapegoat, us, you know. As you know, some of the Facebook comments by the actual Jehovah's Witnesses of the halls we went to last year, they were frightened. They were a little startled, you know, and that also happened to be the same time a church shooting was going on. Not that they knew about it at the time it happened, but even the aftermath of it, you know, they wanted to lump us in a category as if we would have shot the church up. When even Excelsior had said while we're there, "We have no weapons, you silly man."
Right?
Classic line. I wish you were here so you could soak that up. That's good. Oh, man. Hey, you got a comment, by the way, Professor, from the live chat from AJ. He says they can't effectively fill the bus to New York if one person in line tries to fight not to get on it.
Tries to fight to not get on it?
Yeah.
That's awesome. You know, and to me, I think that would be acceptable right there.
Gary Kunkel says, "Trust me when I tell you that whoever did this was an elder's son. I know several stories. I do residential cleaning."
Yeah,
I don't think those are related.
Here's the thing. So the day we did our activism, and there was a church shooting. Now let's go to this. There's a Kingdom Hall arson, and then there's this bomb. Now this person may not be a Jehovah's Witness, but perhaps they come from some other type of religion, with similar fundamental beliefs. And perhaps this has to do with the issue. I mean, if this comes to light as this investigation progresses and they release more information, we'll see. But would that be more eerie if this was a religious-based thing? And, okay, so on the news, they made a specific point yesterday to say that they're not calling this terrorism. Well, why not? I mean, what is it? And what they're really trying to say is we don't want to call it terrorism and people to think that this is a Muslim issue. Okay? That's what it is. They don't want to say that. So considering we have to be politically correct about how we talk about these things, we're not gonna ever be able to get down to the real discussion of it, but they want to emphasize that this is not terrorism. They said it's domestic terrorism, but we don't want to call it that and cause fear in people. What do you think terrorism does? It's the whole point of it.
Right.
And, technically, any of us crashing a hall, technically we're terrorists because you see the faces on these witnesses when their meeting is disrupted.
Some of them actually have some of them have a smug look on their face. It's kind of funny.
Some of them do, yes, but deep down in a way, there is
a little
fear.
Scared. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're freaking
them out. They can show
out.
their smugness. They can show that they're being tough. They're trying to be tough. They're keeping their big boy face, big girl face on.
We're freaking them out because we're like breaking that little bubble of safety they feel like in the Kingdom Hall, I guess.
Yes.
Why isn't Jehovah stopping this? Why isn't he striking these people down?
And that's a good point. Why isn't he?
Yeah, why isn't he? Maybe because he wants you to hear what I have to say.
And once again, you become between the organization and what they want to consider God.
Right. Actually, I think AJ mentioned in the chat that the burning of the Kingdom Hall creates a bigger gap of the us versus them crap.
Yes, true.
Yeah, sad enough.
And we've had apostates that have come up with terminologies that have already discredited us. Some of them call us aggressive because we may state our opinions loudly. And they think that this is... Go ahead.
How else would you do it, right? Because people have their own opinions, and that certain individual is allowed his opinion because America.
Right. Oh, wow. Here's an interesting comment from AJ. Anyway, we could find out if there had been a group of apostates recently exposed at this congregation in Washington, and this was a way for them to say, you come back to protest, they'll make you suspects.
Oh,
that's
wow.
Interesting. Also, one thing, the little interview you showed, they interviewed one woman, and she said what something to the effect of her opinion about the arsonist she couldn't say on television. Now, who else would be defending a Kingdom Hall that staunchly? Jehovah's Witness. And why would a Jehovah's Witness want to say something that they could not say on television?
Wow. Yeah, good point.
Why?
Right.
It's just a building. Luckily, no one was in it. No one was harmed. But your building was so fucking important to you.
AJ continues, this is how they're going to start hanging heads on a pike outside the door to stay out unless you want to be charged with a crime. See, yeah, exactly. Like they're doing the same thing to Adrian right now, right? Like they're like, hey, let's start charging people with random shit.
Well, cool. I hope Adrian can set an example of them and show that once you can present your side of the story in the court, they won't like that. They won't want to be exposed like that.
They're trying, like Emma Peel is stating in the live chat, that their persecution narrative is, us versus them, which is...
They'll spend money on gag orders about molestation cases, and they want to keep a hush-hush on it because they know it's damaging to them.
Yep.
But you know what? Maybe in their mind, they believe that a simple trespassing case, they could win and stop their problem when they don't realize it's just opening a can of worms. It's getting you further embedded in the legal system. More precedent set. More power to them.
Yep.
Man. So, yeah, I mean, like, and who's to say that, like, the person that's leaving those random bombs in Austin isn't also a Jehovah's Witness that's just pissed off? Like, it could be anybody, man. It could be anybody. It could be fucking anybody.
It could be a Catholic.
How many was that? How many was that?
5.
5?
Yeah, 5 for now. They still believe there could be more out there.
Man, that's insane. Well, look, anyway, bottom line, I just wanted to reiterate from last night's stream, just like crime and activism don't mix. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Nobody's going to cheer you on for that crap. In fact, you're probably going to piss everybody off because
it's counterproductive.
It is completely counterproductive, and it's harmful, and it's wrong. Don't do it. Don't do it.
All right, I wanna. If we're gonna end this now, I want to address what a Apostate Coffee Break just said. Some things are worth getting arrested for.
Sure, maybe.
And
peaceful
here's the thing.
Peaceful. As long as you're not hurting anybody, I'm not like, for myself anyway, I'm not opposed to getting arrested for peaceful protesting.
Understood.
I don't encourage anybody to go get your ass busted, but I would do it for myself.
No, but in a very peaceful way, just to show an example of what that would look like. When we went to a hall, Amanda, you noticed that I stayed there beyond what was reasonable. I gave them ample time to call the cops and to get the cops there.
Yeah,
and
you did.
I pushed the line of what was legal throughout that whole thing.
Sure.
In a peaceful way. At no point was I threatening or
right.
We don't have any weapons, you silly man.
And so what I'm saying is in that one instance, now I know others have had the cops called on them in record times, and I tried to exceed whatever time limit there was, and we still didn't get cops called on us. Except by the worldly person after we protested that one. But
oh, yeah, that was
because they knew about the shooting.
I'm sorry. I felt bad because afterward I realized it was probably because of that. But like at the time I was like, why is this worldly person getting involved? This genius? What are they doing? But then, I realized why later. I was like, oh, man. Okay, they probably thought we were crazy. But we were just holding up signs. We didn't even do anything threatening.
I know. Well, perception rules this game. If people can learn that, perception rules this game. For whether you're in a hall talking to a witness, whether you're talking to the cops afterwards. See, that's the thing. You're always going to win in talking to the cops because the perception is that Jehovah's Witnesses are doing something bad, and we're just here to warn them about it. So the perception's already skewed in our favor as far as the cops are concerned. So getting arrested is going to be a pretty tricky thing. Zev hasn't been arrested yet, has he? And I know he's talked to the cop on multiple occasions, so
I don't think so.
Getting arrested for this is a lot harder than it would seem. So
by the way, the cops are really lenient with you about this crap if you just talk to them like a normal person and don't act crazy. But Dawn says that they're doing that with Stewart of X-Dub. They make him follow them and say he's harassing them. So don't fall for their traps. Like if you want to make a stand and stuff and wait till the cops get there and stuff and talk to them, that's great. Like just don't let them trap you into getting yourself into a crime or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't let them trick you into that. Don't let them, like, harass you to the point where you're, like, you lose your cool and then, like, you do something that could be construed as assault.
And people eat that up. They will. They like drama. They love drama.
Right. Anyway. All right, guys. Well, I just thought I'd leave or pop back on here with a quick message about that with my buddies here, and we just discussed that real quick. And I mean, just watch it with that stuff. Like, don't do anything illegal. Do something. Keep it legal. Do it from the heart. I just wanted to reiterate that crime and activism don't mix, right, Black Sheep?
Right. And also,
crime and activism do not mix. That's what we just said, Professor.
Before we go, I'd like to introduce a friend of mine.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Yeah. This would be Lloyd.
How you doing?
The one
what
person
up, Lloyd?
I've been talking to you about. And he has an outside opinion.
Okay.
Never been it.
Feel free to share it.
Witness, never done anything with it at all whatsoever.
Lloyd, you have the floor.
It's kind of stupid that you have all these things happening in the church, in the Kingdom Halls, and then like the basic cover-up of everything. I've been talking with Nate for a good while now about how do you say parental abuse, even in the hall, and I mean, it's just stupid that they're covering this stuff up whenever they're supposed to be led in the right direction by their God, and they don't want to do anything about it. They just want to keep it hush hush. And then you basically get these kids that grow up and then they turn into pedophiles / rapists / murderers because they didn't know how to cope with what they went through going to these kingdom halls. I mean, I'm beside myself with it. That's the reason why I stopped going to church, because I'm tired of hypocrites, people that don't want to how do you say, like, follow in the steps of Jesus. They just fall off, and then they, how do you say, start the hypocrisy. Don't want to help people out, but are willing to put their hand out for help. It's just stupid. The whole church thing is stupid. That's why I'm an atheist.
Right on, man.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate that perspective. I mean, we're pretty much like just nothing but ex-JWs here, so we don't get to hear that a lot. But yeah, every so often I will talk to my ex-JW friends about this kind of stuff, and they're always just appalled.
I mean, it's crazy. You got all those halls down in Arizona that are trying to cover up stuff. You got people like, I'm from Corpus Christi, Texas, okay? So being from there, I used to go to this one place. I don't think it was a Jehovah's Witness thing or anything like that, but I do know the people that led the congregation for it were Jehovah's Witnesses. And the way they treated their children, as opposed to the way a man would treat his wife, they subjugated their kids more than they did themselves to, how do you say, leading like a fellowship or feeding homeless people or anything like that. They put everything on the kids more than they did it themselves. I guess in a way they were trying to teach the kids morality or humility, but like, you're actually raising somebody to not want to help anybody out whenever they get older. You're just raising a prude / shut-in hermit,
And to no fault of their own, because
exactly.
Yeah.
It's their parents, how do you say, forcing the labor on them whenever they're kids. They're not, obligated by no means to do anything in the church, except for go there and go to Bible school. Or I'm just, but being from Corpus Christi, I've been to a lot of these protests. So I stand with you guys. It's appalling. It's stupid that they're trying to shove it up under a rug whenever the rug's only like a welcome mat sized rug compared to this big problem.
Yeah.
Like I said,
Wow.
put a
Yeah, exactly.
a welcome mat.
Yep. Exactly. Good point. Man, well, anyway, yeah, so even people on the outside think this is freaking horrible. I mean, I'm sure, of course they do. It's just that a lot of them don't really know about it. That's all. In fact, I just spoke to a lady the other day who had no idea. Just no idea. Like, I actually spoke to a lot of people on Sunday when I was walking around looking for Jehovah's Witnesses. I asked them, hey, have you seen any Jehovah's Witnesses? And they'd be like, no, why are they your friends? I'm like, oh, gosh, no. And then I would explain what was going on. And they'd be like, oh, my goodness, thank you for telling me about that. So, like, yeah, I mean, I meet people every day is what I'm saying that I speak to that just don't have a clue about Jehovah's Witnesses until I tell them some stuff. They just think they're a very strict Christian religion. Till they hear from somebody that actually was raised in it, of course. Anyway,
well,
all right, guys.
You should really be aware of is the strict Christian religions. They're the worst.
Right.
Because of repressive behavior.
Right. Exactly. Well, alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today on this quick little chat that we had. It was very important, I think, that we discussed this because, I mean, it's worth more than one discussion, I think. Absolutely.
And in case you didn't get the overall message, we were saying don't burn down a Kingdom Hall.
Right. Don't do anything illegal, period. Like, you just don't. I don't think it's a good idea, and it just isn't a good idea. Like, I'm not telling you don't do it because I said. I'm just saying don't do it because it's freaking illegal. Don't do it.
And I'm telling you don't do it because I said so. I'm out.
Yeah, Professor said. All right, later. Right. Bye, Professor. Thanks. All right.
Do not do anything illegal.
It's not worth it.
It hurts more than it helps.
Right. Not just that, but it's you can, like, it doesn't just hurt the cause, but you could actually hurt people. Like that person who was lighting the Kingdom Hall on fire, if they had done it at the right time of day, they could have hurt somebody. And we're not trying to hurt anybody. We're not trying to kill people. That's Watchtower's agenda. That's not our agenda.
Yeah, fuck all that. We came out of that. We came out of that. Fuck that.
Hey, what's up, Professor? You're back.
I'm back.
You got something else for us?
To reiterate, Watchtower Corporation is the public face of the Jehovah's Witnesses. Okay. So when we say Watchtower or Watchtower Corporation or anything that, it's a business, man. It's a publishing company.
Right. It's not really a religion. They just hide behind that to help brainwash people into doing slave work for them, basically. That's the truth of it. Anyway, it's just a method of control for them. It's really sad.
Yeah.
So, all right, people. So, yeah, don't feel too bad about crashing the memorial because it's not about religion for the Watchtower. It's about a method of control to keep slave labor that's free and cheap and all that. Mm-hmm. It's not. It's
right.
not. You're not interrupting anything sacred. You're interrupting a black mass, if anything. So don't feel bad, but don't do anything illegal. Don't get violent. Don't hurt anybody. Don't damage property. Just don't, or you will get chlamydia and die.
Ha!
I'm just kidding.
Good joke.
I'm kidding.
Herpagon syphilis.
Herpagon syphilis. That's, by the way, that's a Mean Girls reference. Before somebody just accuses me of saying that you can get chlamydia from trying to burn the Kingdom Hall down.
How sensitive do you have to be? But anyway.
Yeah.
This 2018.
Oh man.
You just never know. You just never know. So I had to just put a disclaimer. Anyway, all right, guys. You all have a fantastic rest of the day. And this is going to be my stream for the day. So make sure you go out and do something for the memorial. Try to plan something. If you can't, there's still stuff you can do before, after, during, whatever. There's all kinds of stuff you can do. Activism is free too, by the way. And it's accessible. And if you need help trying to figure out how to do it, or you just need help making it more accessible to you, get in touch with one of us. We'll help you out. All right. Peace out. And later.